Imagine a world where you could fill your car with water. No more gasoline, no more diesel, just plain, old water. This is the dream of water-powered cars. It sounds like science fiction, but it could be closer than you think. For decades, scientists and engineers have been working to make this dream a reality. The key lies in a process called electrolysis. This process uses electricity to split water into its two main components, hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is a powerful fuel source. In fact, it's what powers the sun. When hydrogen burns, it combines with oxygen to produce energy. The only byproduct of this reaction is water vapor. That's right, just clean, pure water vapor. Now you might be wondering, if hydrogen is so great, why aren't we all driving hydrogen cars already? Well, there are a few challenges that scientists are still working to overcome. But first, let's talk about why hydrogen is such an exciting fuel source. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe. It is a clean-burning fuel that can be produced from renewable sources like water and solar energy. When hydrogen burns, it releases energy and produces only water vapor as a byproduct. This makes it a much cleaner alternative to gasoline or diesel, which release harmful pollutants into the atmosphere. Hydrogen can be used to power fuel cells. Fuel cells are devices that convert the chemical energy of hydrogen into electricity. Think of them like batteries, but instead of needing to be recharged, they can be continuously refueled with hydrogen. This makes them ideal for powering cars, trucks, and even homes. So how do we get hydrogen from water? The answer is electrolysis. Electrolysis is a process that uses electricity to split water molecules into their component atoms, hydrogen and oxygen. It works by passing an electric current through water, which causes the water molecules to break apart. Imagine you have a battery connected to two metal plates called electrodes. When you dip these electrodes into water and turn on the electricity, something amazing happens. Bubbles start to form on the electrodes. These bubbles are hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. The hydrogen gas can be collected and stored as fuel. And the best part is that the only input needed for electrolysis is electricity. This means that we can produce hydrogen using renewable energy sources like solar and wind power, making it a truly clean and sustainable fuel. Once we have hydrogen, how do we use it to power a car? That's where fuel cells come in. A fuel cell is an electrochemical device that generates electricity from a chemical reaction, typically between hydrogen and oxygen. Think of a fuel cell as a reverse battery. Instead of storing electricity, it generates electricity from an external fuel source, in this case, hydrogen. Hydrogen is fed to the anode of the fuel cell, while oxygen from the air is supplied to the cathode. At the anode, a catalyst helps to split the hydrogen molecules into protons and electrons. The protons pass through a membrane to the cathode, while the electrons flow through an external circuit, creating an electrical current. At the cathode, the protons, electrons, and oxygen combine to form water, which is the only byproduct of the reaction. Toyota, leading the hydrogen highway charge. Many companies are exploring hydrogen technology, but one stands out: Toyota. Toyota has been a pioneer in the development of hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. They have invested heavily in research and development, and they are already producing hydrogen cars for the mass market. One of Toyota's most notable achievements is the Mirai, a hydrogen fuel cell car that can travel over 400 miles on a single tank of hydrogen. The Mirai is a sleek, modern car that drives like any other car on the road, except it produces zero emissions. Toyota is also working to build the infrastructure needed to support hydrogen cars. They are partnering with governments and energy companies to build hydrogen fueling stations around the world. They are also working on developing new technologies to make hydrogen production and transportation more efficient and affordable. Hydrogen versus electric, a clean energy showdown. Now you might be wondering, how do hydrogen cars compare to electric cars? Both technologies offer a cleaner alternative to gasoline-powered vehicles, but there are some key differences. Electric vehicles, or EVs, have become increasingly popular in recent years, thanks to their efficiency and zero tailpipe emissions. However, EVs have limitations such as long charging times and limited range, especially for long-distance travel. Hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, or FCVs on the other hand, offer several advantages over EVs. FCVs can be refueled quickly, much like gasoline cars, typically in under 5 minutes. They also have a longer driving range, often exceeding 300 miles on a single tank of hydrogen. However, FCVs also face challenges. The technology is still relatively expensive, and the infrastructure for hydrogen production and refueling is not as developed as that for EVs. The hydrogen hurdles energy and cost. Despite the promise of hydrogen as a clean fuel source, there are still some challenges that need to be addressed before it can become a mainstream alternative to fossil fuels. Two of the biggest challenges are the energy requirements for hydrogen production and the cost of hydrogen fuel cell technology. Currently, most hydrogen is produced from natural gas through a process called steam methane reforming. While this method is efficient, it still relies on fossil fuels and produces carbon emissions. To make hydrogen truly sustainable, we need to find ways to produce it from renewable sources such as water, using electrolysis powered by solar or wind energy. The cost of hydrogen fuel cell technology is another hurdle. Fuel cells require expensive materials, such as platinum catalysts, which make them more expensive to produce than traditional combustion engines or even electric vehicle batteries. However, research and development are ongoing to find cheaper and more abundant materials, and the cost of fuel cells is expected to decrease as production scales up. A cleaner, greener future with hydrogen. Despite these challenges, the potential benefits of hydrogen are immense. Widespread adoption of hydrogen fuel cell technology could revolutionize the transportation sector and significantly reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. Imagine a world where cars, trucks, and buses emit only water vapor instead of harmful pollutants. A world where our cities are quieter and our air is cleaner. A world where we are no longer dependent on oil and the geopolitical tensions that come with it. Hydrogen can also play a role in decarbonizing other sectors, such as power generation and industrial processes. It can be used in fuel cells to generate electricity for homes and businesses, providing a reliable and clean energy source. Refueling with water, a vision on the horizon. The vision of filling your car with water might seem like a distant dream, but thanks to the efforts of companies like Toyota and the ongoing research and development in hydrogen technology, that dream is becoming increasingly tangible. As we transition to a more sustainable future, hydrogen has the potential to play a significant role in powering our world. It offers a clean, efficient, and abundant alternative to fossil fuels, and it can help us mitigate the effects of climate change. While there are still challenges to overcome, the progress made in recent years is encouraging. With continued innovation and investment, we can make the dream of a water-powered future a reality.